Yep, that's me, Charlie Simons, talking about two things you're never supposed to talk about: religion and politics. Still doing it since 2022, 2021, whenever I started. Was the last time I got fired from a job. That's when I started. In the media business, I've been in radio and television all my life. Radio and TV and legacy media as we know it is all but dead. All but dead. And it couldn't happen to a nicer group of clowns, freaks, and communists. Something like 97% of all journalists identify themselves as socialists, Democrats, communists, even. Those are the people deciding what you're going to see, what you're going to hear, and writing things to shape the narrative that they want you to believe and think. And one of the biggest lies in mainstream and legacy media is the lie of omission, not even showing you really what's going on. I have to go to Reuters to see something like this that's happening right now. Reuters out of England is where you're going to get this story, not on the NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt. Watch this. Marching, marching.
I watched an interview where Trump said that there will be a deportation of anyone who committed a crime from any country. But for an immigrant who hasn't committed a crime, there won't be a deportation. So I'm not afraid of anything. What
Excuse me one quick second, sir. Amigo, senor, just by crossing over the border without going through the proper channels and paying the fees and so on and so forth, you're breaking the law and you are a criminal.
whatever happens, the dream is the American dream, and to be there.
The goal is to reach the United States for a better future. My sister and I are the heads of our household, getting there, studying, working, getting many achievements, being someone in life.
No, our Social Security money and FEMA money is going to be what's ruling your roost. You see that? They're not afraid. They're not afraid. And then Pat Levin comes in. They're not afraid. Yeah, got nothing to worry about. We're going to get what we want. We're going to get what we want when we want it. We're going to deal with the cartels. We're going to do what they tell us to do. Did you notice how many of them were young military age men? Happen to notice that? Another thing, too, supposedly, allegedly, they're walking hundreds, even thousands of miles. Looking that clean, that good? Who's giving them all these clothes? Because if they looked how they used to look when they came across the border, if they didn't have these NGOs, as they're called, non-governmental organizations, Catholic charities, that kind of stuff, if they didn't have them supplying them with all the free signs and free food and free money and free clothing, they would not look that clean. They would not look that good. That's how it's always been, because you're traveling, you're sleeping on the ground. No, they're being bussed up. And then they all get off their bus or off their train, and then they do, while the cameras are there, their little walking bit. That's what's going on right now. And still, and can't be put to an end until President Trump is sworn in, when he said, that's it, gates are closed. And not only that, all of you who came across the border illegally over the last 4 years, you're going back. Now, how are we going to afford that? How's it going to happen? And as soon as the NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt shows some mother cry, they're taking away my children, and it'll be staged. It will be staged, because that's not what's going to be happening, but they will stage that. You're going to watch the American resolve dissolve. That's what's going to happen. My guest on today's Do Not Talk is a man who is in my hero column. Anytime you give up what you've built, what you're doing, a successful person, even whatever it is, run of the mill, single parent. I'm seeing all these kind of people running for office, and I've been saying until we get good people running for office, we're just going to keep getting more of the same. But our own GOP, our own Republican Party, and at least in the state of California, is not getting behind these people. Not championing their cause. Bruce Boyer is on the air. Who's Bruce Boyer? Watch.
I wanted to give you 3 reasons to know why I'm running to be your candidate for Congress. 3 things to know about Bruce. Number 1, I stand 100% with President Trump. 100%. No ifs, ands, or maybes, 100% with Trump. Why? Number 2 reason, no to Joe Biden's war in the Ukraine. This is going to lead to what? Nuclear Armageddon? World War III? 30 million Americans in uniform? How many hundreds of billions of your tax dollars being spent on bombs or just being squandered? No. 3rd, I stand with the Constitution. Your rights, your liberties. And that means your Second Amendment. I'm 100% Second Amendment. No ifs, ands, or buts. I'm that guy. Thank you for your time.
How do you get elected? Talking that way, Bruce Boyer. How do you get elected? Let's get him in right now and talk to him about this on Do Not Talk. Hello, my friend. It's been a while. It's good to see you again.
Howdy. Great to be back, Charlie. So for those
you.
of you that looked at other videos, we have a new location here. I've relocated my offices back to, what I call my hometown, Reseda, California. So we relocated to better space. I have my personal space is almost 3 times larger. My office space is nearly double. We're in a better building, a nicer area. And yes, I'm paying less money and have a very great landlord. So shout out to Statewide Enterprises, great landlords. Thank you.
Good. Before we continue, though, I don't want to keep looking at you like that for the rest of the show. Why don't you get a little bigger and a little closer and center your shot?
How about that? Okay.
It's
The way the lighting is, it's hard to have the hat on your show.
Oh yeah, let's tilt the camera down a little bit too, just to get rid of some of that fluorescent lighting over your head there.
How about that?
Oh no! Oh, that's much better. Much better. Thank you.
Much better. Okay, you still get to look at me, so there you go. I got to compete with Charlie.
So before we get to what I'm going to talk about with you, which by the way is something I have a feeling you probably experienced in this last election. That's fraud, but also
Yes.
a gun buyback program. How in the world do you buy back something you never purchased in the first place? How do you buy it back? And there's one other thing. What's that third thing?
Well, I think the topic that I think people want today is not what I'm doing to counter the gun buybacks, which includes direct actions, federal litigation. Yes, you Google Bruce Boyer, you'll see my name as a plaintiff in one federal lawsuit over this. We have others coming. If you Google my name as a criminal defendant in the county of Los Angeles, you'll see where I was arrested for, quote, allegedly interfering with a city council meeting. Of course, the day I was at the city council chambers, allegedly interfering, that I was arrested was the day after the city council meeting, and they don't have a warrant, but don't let the facts get in the way. That's an issue we'll talk about for a different show.
That happened? You got arrested at a city council meeting when you were going there just to represent your city as a citizen?
No, I went to the city council meeting, and I didn't get in because they demanded to search me. Yes, the city of Palmdale, where I do not live. I live in Ventura County, thank you. The city of Palmdale announced a gun buyback. Well, let's get it on. We'll put a stop to this. I'll turn the tables on them. Absolutely. They're breaking the law. We'll lay that out in another video. But just as a lead-in, as a temptation to people, I sent notice to the city of Palmdale that what they were doing with the LA Sheriff's Department was illegal, lined out how they're breaking the law, how they are creating a felony criminal conspiracy, how they are squandering the taxpayer dollars, laid this out, and I told them if they continue with this, I will, of course, take legal action. I've already sued the city of Santa Barbara. Again, I don't live in Santa Barbara, but I live in a free country, and if they don't like it, they can leave. I'm going to live in a free country, and I'm not leaving, and I I don't run fast, so I don't bother to run at all. Unless I'm at them, running at them. We'll do that one. They can run away. See, I give them the option to be safe. Either do what's right, pay the consequences, or just run away. Their deal. So I announced to the city of Palmdale that I would be coming on to their city council meeting the Wednesday before the event, and I would be doing public comment. And I read on their website that they have a policy, not a law, but a policy, that they will do, quote, weapons screening. Yes. And they have decided that if, as the privilege for attending our city council meetings as citizens, that we will be subject to these weapons screenings, and certain things that they have defined as weapons based on the city of Palmdale, not the state of California, are going to be considered weapons and not allowed. So as someone that does not waive my rights, I told him I would be coming and I wouldn't be consenting to any weapon searches, and neither would my associates. Thank you very much. Yes. Yes. And how do you tell who Bruce's associates are? Well, I wear a cowboy hat. Doesn't mean the rest of them do, right? Okay. I'm a little bit of a public figure. You can Google around, find out who Bruce Boyer is or what I look like pretty quick. So as I came into the facility at the time of the city council meeting, they had a couple of what looked to be security guards out front. Turns out they're code compliance officers. Yes, so highly paid code compliance officers are assigned the responsibility of running weapons screening, metal detectors. I'll be finding out how much the tax dollars they spend on all of this, so that as you walk in, they will tell you to, let me search your bag and beep and all that fun little stuff, which legally they can require of us in California at a courthouse because it's a correctional facility. Yes, correctional facilities. That's the law. So I walk right through the metal detector. I'm there to speak to my city council. And of course, I was carrying, what every, good cowboy should carry is a tool bag, right? I carry a tool bag. Okay, that's what I do. I'm carrying a tool bag. Fine. I walk in, it beeps. I walk in, I go up and I go, yes, I'm here to make public comment. Where are the slips to fill out? Because I've done public comment at council meetings, all these things, probably about 300 times. So they're like, oh, they're out in the foyer. Okay, so I walk back out of the foyer, grab my slip and fill it out and go to walk back. And they're like, oh, no. We have to check your bag. You have to? Yeah, we need to. Oh.
Which is it? Need or have?
I said, well, I need $50,000. Can we start with that? What about my needs? What about me? Think about me. I have needs here. I have needs. Are you saying I'm a needy person? You need to check my bag. I need $50,000. Well, you're going to have to process that, right? Well, we have rules, and they point to the rule on the wall. I said, oh, rules. And of course, now you got to get, other people involved in this. And they use this pressure tactic to get you to conform. You're causing a disturbance, sir. Can you just conform and go?
Everybody else is complying. Correct. Everybody else is doing it.
It's uncomfortable. We're going to make it socially awkward for you. Turns out I don't care. No, I do not care. I am overly confident in who I am. I know if I do the right thing, and who determines the right thing? We have the instruction manual. Read the manual, follow the manual, right? Yeah, we have God's plan. It's a manual. Follow the manual. Oh, well, you should be a Christian by complying with whatever someone else wants you to do. No, there's a difference between walk the extra mile versus my responsibility as the government, because I'm the citizen, and my rights are not to be equated with loving thy neighbor to walk the extra mile, which I'll do. But compliance is not what a Christian should do in our governmental system, because we as Christians need to recognize we are the government.
Well, let me throw this out there too. Nowhere in the U.S. Constitution does it say we have a right to keep and bear arms, unless they say you can't bring them into a government building.
Well, they're not even arms. See, now they're classifying things as weapons.
My point is, though, that they are saying that these people are saying that you're supposed to comply with an unlawful order. No, that's an unlawful order. That's the one order you don't have to follow is an unlawful order.
This is a request. This is a courtesy. Thank you. And I go, well, okay, you have rules. And I said, well, I appreciate you have rules. And of course, we've got the city manager lady, like whatever she is, some, big, you could tell she's important by the way she carries herself, her dress, her hairstyle. She's clearly an important person. And then we have the captain come out too, because, when the captain comes out, I was Army, I respect my officers, but I also know what is one of our standing general orders. I will obey no unlawful order. I don't care how many
So it was this captain of in the
LA
police
Sheriff.
department?
Yes, LA Sheriff. So he came out.
Or his sheriff?
Yes. This is Palmdale contracts with the Sheriff Department of the City of Los Angeles, one of the most renowned agencies for total corruption that I think exists in America. Yeah. Look, when their own deputies end up disappearing and found dead, yeah, kind of looks more like the mafia.
So in your race, run us through it, because I had you on and you were still in the race. I haven't had an update since then.
Got it. Okay, so for future episode, we'll come back more about how you can get arrested for going to your city council meeting and refusing to consent to an unlawful search, being so polite, so courteous, but yet so funny, and then leaving when they closed. They actually ended the city council meeting. For those of you that are going, wait a minute, how do you end a city council meeting? You have a regularly calendared public meeting, the Brown Act. You can't just end public meetings, can you? No. Yes, you can. When Mayor Pro Tem Paris, who was not elected, who lives in Lancaster, says we're going to adjourn for 10 minutes. Okay, we'll take a recess. And then, okay, we're ending the meeting for today. Everybody out of the building, because there's a guy in a cowboy hat in the foyer who is just laughing at us, not causing a disturbance. We know what 415 is. Refusing to consent to be searched, no matter how many sheriff's deputies, security guards, big shots try to intimidate him, coerce him, persuade him. He just stands there and goes, no. In fact, the guy's got his attorney on his cell phone telling us, what is your legal authority? And since we can't give him one, he just says, am I being detained? No, that I'd like to go into my council meeting. I'd like to make public comment. And they're saying, no. We explain. And I'm going, I don't care. Tell me a law. Oh, you don't have one. They ended the city council meeting. It's closed. You leave. I left. We're going to re-adjourn tomorrow at 3:00. Wait, you can't do that under the Brown Act. You can't just go, we're done, everybody come back tomorrow. You can't do that. Well, they now had to ask themselves, is this guy going to show up on a Thursday at 3:00 in Palmdale when he lives in Ventura County? We got him, right? But just in case, contingency plan. We're going to have 4 sheriff's deputies out front because that'll scare him. No. Now, understand, I'm not going to disclose certain things, but if anybody is aware of who I am, this ain't my first rodeo. I've been dealing with these tyrants for a long time, and even my attorneys will go, you know what, Bruce? The problem is you're not stupid. You outsmart them. You outthink them. You know what they're going to do. You're 3 moves ahead of them. So when I show up, a little after 3, I park in the parking lot that's nearly empty, driving the same car. Hi. Yeah, I have an old Lexus for a reason. So if they impound it, I got other cars. It's a 98 Lexus. Come on. If the world comes to an end and they steal it, impound it, blow it up, I'm good, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Park in the parking lot, walk up. Nobody outside except 4 deputies. They want to talk to me. Hey, blah, 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 blah. I'm just focused. I just walk into the door. I don't talk to them. I don't need to talk to them. One of them yells out, oh, the meeting's already adjourned. You missed it. Walk up to the door. Door's locked. Doesn't look like anybody's inside. Now, I'm also armed again with a tool bag. Armed, because clearly you're dangerous when you carry a tool bag, right? And I'm also armed with one of the most potentially deadliest devices known to mankind. And do you know what that would be, Charlie?
A ball peen hammer.
No. More dangerous. What? A picnic basket.
A what?
A picnic basket. Charlie, have you ever taken a woman on a picnic?
Sure.
What's the most dangerous weapon you could bring? Picnic basket.
A knife, cut,
No,
whatever. No,
no.
what,
Most
what?
dangerous thing to a woman for a man to have is a picnic basket, taking her on a picnic. So I brought a picnic basket.
Okay.
Yes, with a nice little red blanket on top, too. So there I am at the door, armed with a tool bag and a picnic basket. Clearly, I'm dangerous, aren't I? Yes.
Well, they don't know what's in the basket.
Yeah. As they said the day before, it could be a bomb. Sure, could be a bomb. There could be a bomb in a tool bag. There could be. Could be a nuclear weapon, too. Yeah, I kind of know that world, too, but we don't carry nuclear weapons around. There could be a nuclear weapon. Anything is possible, right? So I step over to the door where the notices are posted, and I'm grabbed and arrested. Yes. I don't even know who's grabbing me. I got 4 people coming up behind me, pushing me up against the doors. You're under arrest. What? Hey, let go of me. Somebody call the cops. You're under arrest. We are the cops. What am I under arrest for? Interfering with a public meeting. It's closed. You just told me it's closed. The doors are locked. It's closed. Like, no, not a worry. If you're going to confront the tyrants, you need to develop grace under pressure.
Whoa.
They want you to react. Now, did I react? No. Did they charge me with a resisting arrest? Well, of course they do. Of course they do. Is it all on video? Yes. Do they have body cams? Yes. Is it all on the video from the city council? Yes. Did Bruce know they were probably going to arrest me? Yes. Did I purposely leave my car unlocked with the car key on the floor of the rear seat? Yes. Did I purposely not have my cell phone, car keys, or wallet on me? Correct. Could it be possible that if I expect to get arrested, that I'm going to, I don't know, bring somebody with me who would be able to take care of my car and leave the car unlocked so they could drive it back? And maybe, I don't know, drop them off before I got to the city council chambers so they could just be some, dude in the background who has a cell phone, who blends in, who's going to take pictures with his cell phone? No. And would I have dropped him off before he even got to the city council chambers so he could just be looking like some guy walking around, blending in, having a cell phone? So after I was arrested, he went to my car because they asked me, said, "Oh, do you want us to put these things in your car?" Now, they've already patted me down. I don't even have a car key on me.
And what did you tell them?
No. Oh, well, see, if we take them into property, we're going to have to book them, and that'll take a long time for you to get them back. I'm like, no, that's okay. No, you don't have permission.
No, they have to give it back when they release you, on your own recognizance or bail or whatever it is.
No, Charlie, this is LA Sheriff. They do whatever they want. Okay. All right. So I said, no. You just go ahead and book it into custody. Yeah. You search my picnic basket. You search my tool bag. In the tool bag, they found, the tools were in the tool bag. The tape measure was in my pocket. Just for laughs, after the arresting deputy searched me, Deputy Martinez, as I told her, if I was your training officer, I would have already failed you. She body searched me, and in my right front pant leg. Now, I don't wear big baggy pants. I had a T-square, a carpenter's T-square, shoved down my pant leg. She failed to find it searching me. I had to point it out to her. Deputy Martinez, I said to her, if I was your training officer, I would have flunked you. And the other deputies, I said, you missed something. Oh, we missed. I said, no, just check the right front pant leg. I think at least 2 of the deputies literally fell over laughing at her. Now, somebody suggested, they were purposely going to leave that in there so they could arrest you for bringing a weapon into a facility. Yes, or Deputy Martinez is just a DEI hire and totally lazy and totally incompetent. Yeah, I think the other deputies went, it's a good thing this guy's actually not dangerous. He is literally, as he tells us, I will be the nicest guy you arrest all year. Because if he was actually dangerous, dumbass Deputy Martinez would have actually missed the shiv that would have been used to kill the deputy, right?
A T-square.
Yeah. And they're all going, yeah, we get to ride with her. Yeah, we get to, yeah, great. Yeah, the next time we make an arrest, are we going to let Deputy Martinez actually search the potentially dangerous guy? No. That's who they have to work with.
What was in the picnic basket? I'm sure people
in the picnic basket. Yes. Well, I didn't have time to stop and pick up lunch because that's very dangerous to put in a picnic basket. Chicken and I mean, those are very dangerous items. You take a woman on a picnic with those. So this picnic basket was equipped with a blanket and
uncovered room temperature mayonnaise in a cup.
Yeah, which they asked to throw out the food because it wouldn't keep if they had to store it. And I'm like, yeah.
Right. No, that's funny. So it was picnic stuff.
And the bag had a couple of dumbbells in it and some, flip flops and, t-shirt and shorts because, that's what you have in your workout bag, right? Yeah. But said, no, you don't go put it in my car. No.
I did not hear any of this. I did not see any of this. And were you kept for how many hours or overnight or what did they do?
Let me rewind to cover this part to make you laugh. So like, oh, do you want us to take care of your car, Mr. Boyer? No, that's okay. You don't need to do your community caretaking responsibilities. It can sit right here in the parking lot. Because since the vehicle was not whatever the word, contingent as to my, quote, alleged crimes. They didn't actually have the ability to use the California Vehicle Code to impound the vehicle on the arrest.
Right.
But they were willing to take it into community caretaking, just to make sure it's safe, because you wouldn't want to leave your car sitting in front of City Hall. I mean, that's a very dangerous place, right? I said, no. When
plus they make a lot of money off impound.
Oh, we'll do. Oh, Charlie, I am the California state champion of vehicle code impounds. I have had more vehicles impounded, more vehicle code impound hearings, multiple federal court cases over vehicle impounds than literally I am the state champion. I know this. My attorneys know this. So when my associate waited till all the deputies drove off and he had finished filming everything, he went back to my car to follow instructions to open the unlocked doors, because it's a manual old one. There's no remote, and take the car key and drive himself back to where he lives, right? The car was locked. It's like magic.
And the key was on the floorboard behind the driver's seat, purposefully put there by you. And it was left unlocked. It was left unlocked.
On the video. Do you think the boys and girls went over to my car?
Absolutely. They went over and they searched and they just automatically, they locked it behind them because they figured that's what everybody does in SoCal, and rightly so. I'm
shocked.
Son of a, wow.
When you know they're going to do stupid, hand them a shovel and be ready to document. So anyway, as of right now, I was criminally arraigned. This was back in September. I was criminally arraigned, and that's when they presented the charges to me, that I was being charged with not only interfering with the city council meeting, but resisting arrest too. Yeah, you got to throw that one in there. Yeah.
Yeah. What did they classify as resisting arrest when you said,
they don't have to define things. They just show me the man, I'll show you the crime. Right. Yes. Reading the officer's report, which is somebody took creative writing class and did very well at it.
They probably had AI do it for them.
No, it's not. No, literally, this is creative writing. So I'll just give you a little segue on this one. I'm not disclosing anything my attorney would not want me to disclose, because this is more procedural stuff. So when you're criminally arraigned, okay, my significant sweetie now knows that this cowboy has been criminally arraigned, arrested. In fact, I called her, told her I was going to Palmdale that day in September, and I said, yeah, I may get arrested. This is what I do. So, if you don't want to roll with this cowboy, I get you. Don't, And yes, I didn't get back to you because I got arrested, and my son had to come pick me up, and and I sent her a picture of me when I went to criminal court for arraignment, and it's a very good picture, though. It's a really sharp picture. We would
What
dress
happened
sharp.
with the
So,
person
so,
who?
so she, no, so when I went to go to the arraignment, so this is how Bruce rolls. If you don't like this cowboy, you want easy, go somewhere else. Well, apparently she doesn't want easy. So I show up for criminal arraignment. That's how it works when you get criminally arraigned. You are there so that they will, quote, read the charges. Now, typically what happens
And
is
you've been in a cell all this time. How long did
no,
that take?
no. Now,
No.
when you're arrested, the options are that they can either hold you for bail or you are released our own recognizance. You just sign a promise to appear to show up. Now, this would be a misdemeanor. They run you for wants and warrants. Are you on probation? Are you on parole? They'll check the federal system to see if you're a federal fugitive. Years ago, LA sheriffs wanted to keep me a lot. They wanted to keep me because there's a guy named Bruce Boyer, they said, is a federal fugitive from Wisconsin. And I have the same name, so they're going to hold me. Now, it's not the most common name, but actually it's not completely uncommon. It's actually a Boyertown, Pennsylvania, where my family actually is from. So they'll hold you. Yeah, they're allowed to hold you for wants and warrants, and even including checking the federal system and waiting until the results come in. Well, I'm arrested at 3:20 in the afternoon. I mean, it takes them a while to figure out how to actually get the T-square out of my pants pocket. I said, look, I'm not shy. Just pull my pants down, take the T-square out. I don't care. All right. They had to work the T-square out of the pant leg.
Of course.
Deputy Martinez did not know what a T-square was either. Why should she? It's a T-square.
Yeah.
Not in her world, right?
Right.
And then transport you and ask you all the various questions. Now, there is a Fifth Amendment right question and concern. When you're arrested, they're going to ask you 812 questions before booking you to make sure how you identify, your gender, your sexual preferences, your medical conditions, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So the challenge is that you have a Fifth Amendment right, which I asserted. I said, not answering any questions. I want a lawyer. 4 words. Always. I want a lawyer. Shut up. If they continue to ask you, they're in violation of your rights. I want a lawyer. So you assert, I want a lawyer. Asserting your Fifth Amendment is good, but it's not complete, because if you assert your Fifth Amendment and you decide to start talking, well, then you waive your right by action. When you say, I want a lawyer, we're done. But then there is all the, quote, booking questions, which I complied with. I told him, I said, I'll be the nicest guy you arrest all year, guaranteed. Guaranteed. Oh, that reminds me, I need to write a commendation letter for the booking deputies. They were just outstanding. I mean, you could tell they actually care about the people they're booking in. Me, anyway. But then I was the nicest guy there would. Of course, do they have any idea who I am? No. And are the deputies talking to me about how they're going to vote for Trump? Yes. Yeah. Do they know the guy that I'm? Who I am? No, they have no idea. I'm not going to tell them, right? Yeah. So when you're arrested, yes, they're going to run you for warrants. Now, can they hold you just cause? No. That'd be a violation of your rights. If they run you for wants and warrants, and you have none, you're not on parole, you're not on probation, they're not going to hold you for bail, well, then you get to walk out the door, right?
Yeah.
Well, but see, there's a problem there. The way the sheriff's department does their accounting system and the way they count, quote, time in custody, if you are there on the 19th of September, they can say that you were in custody for 1 day for their accounting system to count the costs of incarcerating you and for, quote, time served when it comes to sentencing. See, when you cut a plea deal, the more time served the person has, the criminal,
Okay.
then it's easier for you to accept the plea deal because they're going to count the time served. So if they keep you to 2 minutes after midnight, that counts as 2 days, doesn't it? So on the accounting,
Even if it's only 5 seconds after midnight, still
2 minutes.
that's
2 minutes is the bar.
Oh,
Yeah.
2 minutes. Okay, got it.
Right. So they, after they completed apparently all the runs were running for warrants and wants and all that stuff. I mean, okay, what are we talking about here? 6 o'clock? Sure. We'll just go hang out. Okay. Hang out. Take a nap. I didn't even have any friends to meet. I mean, I met all the deputies. I made friends with all of them, but I didn't meet any other friends. Okay. I mean, I try. I'm friendly. So, here they go. It's midnight. We're going to out process you. Okay, come out. Boom. There you go. Out the door 2 minutes after midnight. What are they
Did that on purpose.
You think
to make money and to make it as rough on you as possible.
No. Well, no, I'm not going to say if they did it to be rough on me. I'm going to say they held me at 2 minutes after midnight because I know how their accounting lies work. So now the typical criminal defendant, when he comes into court and they go, okay, we're going to cut a deal with you, Joe. If you plead guilty to this crime, we're going to give you 90 days in jail. However, in LA County, we're going to count 1 for 10, 1 for 12, which means for every day you actually served, we're going to count that as 10 or 12, depending upon capacity. And so 90 days is really 9. Just don't get out of line. And by the way, you've already served 2. See, you were there for 2 minutes after midnight. You've served 2. So it's easier for you. So let's say it's 30 days. Well, you've already served 2. You walk in, you do what they call kiss it, and you walk back out the door. There's a 3rd day. And accounting-wise, the sheriff can go, look at how many days of custody we have versus cost. You see, you're padding a little extra bit. It works, right? Yeah, that's really what it is. So going forward to my criminal arraignment, and I did consult with 2 of my attorneys. Okay, let's see what they're going to do, because they don't have to file charges. They don't have to. When I was arrested for allegedly interfering with a public event, the quote borderline memorial anniversary, where I was arrested by my friends on Ventura County sheriffs. Yes, Deputy Cordola, shout out to you, my friend. Before it had even started. Yes, because I was a perceived security threat. Yes. Did the district attorney in Ventura County choose to actually prefer charges? No. He looked at it and went, you arrested Mr. Boyer for interfering with a public event that hadn't started yet. That's not possible. That's not a lawful arrest. Didn't file the charges. So show up to court. No, we're not filing any charges. Okay, fine. Bye. What was LA County going to do? Because what are the circumstances? I'm showing up at the city council meeting. I'm not arrested. I'm not causing a public disturbance. They didn't even try to arrest me for a 415 disturbance because I'm just laughing at them. I got my attorney on the, come on, give me a code section. I know how to argue so nicely, it makes them crazy. I just ask questions. They ask me questions. I don't answer questions. I'm part Irish. Irish means you answer a question with a question. Like, what do you mean? What about that? I don't.
You're talking to me.
We just need to know. Awesome. Good. I have needs too. What about my needs? I need to go in and do public comment. Well, we need to check your bag. Well, I need to make public comment. Do you have a law that says I have to submit? We have a sign on the wall. Don't care. Fine, you're going to close the meeting. That's illegal. You can't adjourn meetings. This is a public meeting. You can't do that. But you know what? I'm just going to laugh at them. Here's your shovel. Here's your rope. I'm just going to let you. And I'm going to leave. I'm not going to do stupid so you could arrest me. No.
To what end?
To what end? Here's their end.
Because you're in an area that's flaming left, and
no. Flaming tyrant. Leftism is a piece of the tyranny. Understand, Mayor Pro Tem Paris is a Republican. Okay? The sheriff of Ventura County at the time I was arrested in 2019, Sheriff Ayub, was a Republican. The tyrants in Simi Valley that I go up against, Simi Valley, home of the Reagan Library, How many city council members of 5 are Republican? Anybody want to guess? Same
How
number.
many? How many?
5.
5.
Ventura County Board of Supervisors, 3 of 5 are Republican. Okay. Palmdale, Republican. Moore Park, Republican. Which is what frosts me even more, because I thought we were in the party of liberty, and then to see the tyrants in your own party. Just a
Well,
little
that's
background.
why I'm asking. That's why I'm asking. What was the plan, knowing that it could unfold the way it did? And now you got something on your record. What? Because you can't do it for a publicity stunt. You wouldn't have done it for that, because that kind of publicity is not going to help you really in a race for office.
No, incorrect.
Okay.
Why do they say there is no such thing as bad publicity?
As long as they spell your name right, and you're right, they do.
True.
Yes,
it is true.
Yeah.
When I ran for mayor of the San Fernando Valley in 2002, as an outspoken why we need to secede, and I came up with my own 101 reasons why we need to secede. My daughter really liked 101 Dalmatians. And I said things like, no. I'm going to tell you how we're going to make money. I'm going to literally auction off the rights to fire city employees to the citizens. You want to fire that guy? You put in the top bid. I will personally let you fire that city employee. Yeah. I mean, people know more about somebody like, a Jim Jordan or Matt Gaetz because they get a platform. I got to tell you, those guys, I could give them lessons. Okay.
Okay.
It's not
so
about
you went, and from where you are in Ventura County out to San Bernardino Riverside, that's a good hour and a half trek.
Palmdale's about an hour and a half. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Palmdale. Right. So it's not even in your district where you were running. Did it help you? What came of it?
Here's where it comes back.
I'm just curious why you would do this.
Why would do this?
There you don't even live.
Here's why. Love your neighbor. I don't live in Palmdale. Well, technically, I don't live in Oxnard. Technically, I don't live in Simi Valley. Technically, I don't live across the street either. We're all in America. The battlefield is where the battlefield is. You go as a soldier to where the battle is. You send your troops to where the fight is. One of the old analogies that we used in the Civil War was march to the sound of the guns. Where you hear the gunfire, just march to the sound of the guns. Why? You probably won't go wrong if you march to the sound of the guns. There might be a better option, but you know what? If you march to the sound of the guns, you're probably going to be where the fighting is. And if you're where the fighting is, you're probably in the right place. The enemy will present us opportunities to defeat him. You go to where the opportunities to defeat him are best presented. Being able to defeat him based on what you bring and what they're offering up. You fight the battle on the terrain that you can win on, that they will lose on. You let them pick the hill they're going to die on.
But they consider that you're the one that lost because they were able to arrest you.
But here's back to your other questions to their mentality. Their mentality is this to the citizen. You can't fight City Hall. Why do they say that? So that we believe it's true. If you can fight City Hall and win, well, then that wouldn't be true. What does it take to prove the falsity of that statement? Well, Bruce wins. Joe kicks their butt. Yeah. Look at all the people that fight City Hall and win. So don't tell me you can't fight City Hall, because these people win, which is why it is absolutely imperative for them to hit any and all nails with the biggest possible hammer to smash you. Because if you ever start thinking you can fight City Hall and you show people that you can fight City Hall and win, oh, it's game over. It is game over for them. The only reason they get to do what they do, and you look back to the lockdowns. I told people when the lockdowns first happened, I said, our critical mass is 3%. If we can get 3% of the people to actually refuse to comply, like not doing it, we will break them. We just need 3%. 3%, right? There's your 3%er, exactly. And we had to explain to people why 3% is the significant number. 3%. We get 3%, we break them. We don't have to quote, go to war with them. We just need to go, not happening, not doing it. Nope.
Not on my watch.
Nope. Not going to comply. Not going to do it. No, you want to go ahead and arrest me? You don't have a law.
You know what I love about this, Bruce, is first of all, I don't want to be taken care of from cradle to grave. Knock it off. Why don't you just let me do my thing? You got your little dependent society there that's going to continue voting for you. I can't stop you from doing that with my tax dollars, but I'm going to keep electing and keep pushing for people like Bruce.
Yes,
for
we
people
can,
like
Charlie.
Bruce who do take a stand. I'm going to continue pushing for them and promoting them and seeing if I can get them elected and help them in any way possible so I can put an end to your theft. Which is what it is. If you want somebody to take care of you from cradle to grave and you want the government to be your sugar daddy, I don't know what to tell you. I don't want to pay for it. I don't want to pay for it.
You ain't my kid. I got my kids. You ain't my kid. I ain't your daddy. I'm not your daddy.
Right.
Okay? I'm sorry if you didn't have a daddy that would take care of you, but it doesn't mean I have to be your daddy because you didn't. I got my kids. Who do you think you are to step up and go, I need to adopt you by force?
So they're going to act like they're protecting those people, the city council people. They're protecting the people who are there to attend the meetings from a gun-toting maniac like you. Which, by the way, there were no guns.
There could have been a bomb.
And there was no manic behavior. It was. This is insane.
Everybody is subject to search. Everybody, everyone. Now, little backup about our Republicans up there, because as you pointed out earlier, we have to clean our own house before we can fix the state. Mayor Pro Tem Paris is the most well-known name in the Antelope Valley, Palmdale, Lancaster, because anywhere you drive, you see massive billboards promoting his personal injury law firm and all the money he's going to get you. So he is arguably the best known name in the Antelope Valley, and he was mayor of Lancaster. And I have no idea how much money the guy's worth, but I'm sure when you're racking in, huge money in PI claims, and you've got a big firm that does that, you're probably worth more than $1 or $2. So he was the long-serving mayor of Lancaster, from what I understand. And if I'm wrong, okay, I'm not. This is what I understand, that because of the corruption in Palmdale, one of the city council members / mayor resigned. Oh my gosh, they need somebody until they have an election. Who could we possibly find to fill in? Oh, why don't we ask Richard Paris, because he's the former mayor of Lancaster. Maybe we could ask him, pay him to step in as our mayor pro tem to guide us and take care of us, because he's such an outstanding member of the community. Yeah. That's how he got to be in charge in Palmdale. So you have literally an unelected mayor, city council member arbitrarily canceling a public meeting and recalendering it for another day and time the next day without all the Brown Act proper notices. But, when you're king, why would I infer that Mr. Paris is king? See, Mr. Paris does know me. See, now you're going to understand why I went to Palmdale. Not only was the opportunity presented, but the enemy was presented that had already positioned himself to lose. The Greeks said, he whom the gods wish to destroy, first they do what? They make angry, right? Now, Mr. Paris knows who I am because of my business, Lone Star Alarm Monitoring. And I operated sign trailers, which the state of California classified now as mobile billboards, which are definitely illegal because, well, they're ugly. Even if I put a picture of Charlie on it, it'd be ugly. Can't have ugly. You can't have free speech out there.
Mega ugly.
Ugly, yes. Everything is ugly because we're saying it, not the government or their approved friends.
Right.
So I operated some sign trailers, which is what? A legally licensed, registered trailer, legally parked, with a sign on it advertising my business. But that's ugly. We don't want those. Dude, it ain't your street. It's my street. Your street. It's our street.
Right.
I pay a registration to operate my vehicle on the public roadway. This is the public roadway. And if I want to put a sign on my vehicle that says, have a nice day, kiss my grits, vote for Donald Trump, or call Bruce at Lone Star Alarm Monitoring, this is called our First Amendment. You cannot say that I don't have a First Amendment on my vehicle. Yes, we can. So we don't like it. So what do they do when they don't like something? They hit you with hammers, make you go away, right? So the city of Lancaster decided to instruct the sheriff's department to make sure all my sign traders went away. Whatever means necessary, you know? Again, I am California's vehicle impound champion. I've had, what are we at, about 500 vehicles impounded because they just make stuff up. It's been parked there over 72 hours. We think so. We believe so. It could be. It could be. We believe it could be. That's enough to impound it. And what's the legal standard? Well, we thought it was. Pay the money. We think so. The officer legitimately believed it could have been there over 72 hours. Yes. What if I offer proof that it wasn't? Well, it doesn't mean the officer wasn't probably right. So we're going to determine if the officer legitimately believed it. That's the standard, not actual proof. Can I go in front of a judge? No. There's no judicial review. This is purely administrative, you understand. We take your vehicle, you go pay money, and then we'll decide that we're right, unless we decide we're wrong. And you don't even get a hearing. Well, I mean, you get a hearing, but they'll decide how the hearing is held.
Hundreds of dollars, by the way, these impound fees just for keeping it.
Yes, but I also
just to get it back out, even if they pulled it into the gate, towed it into the gate just an hour earlier, they're charging you.
Which is why I learned to get the tow yards to play nice. I incentivize them.
Okay.
We'll go into that in another video. So
Okay.
Now also was Lancaster willing to just abuse me only that way? Oh, no. I had a sales rep working for me, and his first name was Esmond, and Esmond was from Louisiana. Esmond would be classified as black. Esmond's a Republican, lifelong Republican. Esmond's part of the church. Esmond, I love having Esmond work for me and working for me, and he's basically a, go hustle up the business guy. Hey, can I help you with your alarm monitoring needs? Work the referrals, people call in from the sign traders. So he was one of my field reps. So cities have a law called no soliciting. You do not have the legal right to walk up to somebody and go, hey, can I get a job? Can we do some business together? Oh no, that's soliciting. That's illegal. No, that's our First Amendment. And yes, I can point out the cases that have had to affirm to different cities like Redondo Beach that the right to solicit work is your First Amendment. You cannot say that you don't have a First Amendment to solicit work. You can walk up to somebody's door in the public curtilage. You can walk into a publicly open business and go, hi, could I work for you? Could I take care of this for you? Could I be your janitor? Could I be your alarm guy? Yes, it's called a First Amendment. So cities have no soliciting laws, so they could literally go, we don't want you in our town. Gosh, who would they pick for that? Well, people they don't like. Now, historically, the people they didn't like were outsiders because, that interferes with their friends. If you got some insurance guy from another, area coming into town, hustling up some insurance, your brother-in-law is going to lose some insurance business, right? Yeah, you want to keep that guy out. Or people that are, I don't know, black, you don't want
any number of things. Yeah. Fill in the blanks.
Pencils. Yeah.
Right.
So Esmond was cited by the city of Lancaster for soliciting without a license. So I went to Esmond and I said, well, I spoke with my attorney who would be more than happy to represent you if we want to fight this. My attorney is George Wallace. Okay, Lancaster, which has a well-earned reputation for racism. They've earned it. I mean, they didn't get it anyway, but the old-fashioned way, they earned it. Okay, that's Lancaster. That is old school California racist redneck. And for those of you that look at me like, Bruce, you're a white dude. Hello, I have a whole side of the family that came over from Mexico into Texas 100-some years ago. So don't judge people by, well, you're this and that. Shut up with all your racist stuff. This is what evil people do. They judge people going, well, I can pick on you because you're this color or that color, and it cuts both ways, as right. Most of your audience knows. So right. Lancaster has a well-earned reputation for Lancaster. I said, Esmond, if Lancaster needs a legal battle where a black man is charged with soliciting without a license, your First Amendment right. And George Wallace is your attorney. This is the ass whooping that I think they need. Esmond did not want to get into that fight. I paid his fine. And there we go. It was too costly for him to work for me because of the persecution he was going to endure from the city. Oh, they came to his house looking to cite him. This is Republicans. This is Mayor Parris. Mr. Parris knows who I am. The former congressman that we had for the district who made the comments, and this was it Knight? Yeah, not Garcia. No. The one that was lost his seat before Garcia, I think it was Knight. He is the guy that threatened to drop one of the guys that came to him as to his position for supporting illegal immigration. I'll drop you. Oh, because you're a badass. Yeah. And I called his office and I said, how can you as a Republican or as a man or as a congressman speak to somebody and tell him you're going to drop him because he disagrees with you? I said, the congressman needs to not run for re-election. We're going to lose the race. You cannot look at your people and treat them that way and expect them to vote for you. We're just not going to do it.
Yeah.
And the Democrats are going to use that to their advantage. And you're going to get your ass handed to you in a bucket, dude. Yeah, he lost.
Wow.
His office knew who I was because of my sign. They're like, oh, you're that guy with the sign traders. I'm like, yes. Oh, you're obviously a terrible person because you have a sign on a vehicle advertising your company. How dare you tell us that the congressman lost his cool? Well, dude, if you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. You should not be an adult if you can't maintain your composure as a member of Congress when somebody disagrees with you. That you're going to drop them? Really? We're going to go to Fifth City. I'm going to, and this isn't a duel. This is like, I'm going to just hurt you.
Wow.
And the guy confronting him is like, you know what? I know some guys. Why don't you tell them you're going to drop them? I'll introduce you to Patrick. Why don't you tell Patrick or Ninja Rick that you're going to drop him? You know why? Because he'll rip your arms out of your sockets. You're not a badass. You just think you're a badass because the guy you were talking to. Okay? You want to show me badass? You go up to Ninja Rick and you tell him you're going to drop him. Then we'll see what happens, and then you can say you're a badass. You're a bully. You're a bully.
Good.
They knew who I am. So Mr. Parris, not to be outdone, we all remember the lockdown. So again, you fight your battles where you can win. Mayor Parris, the Republican mayor of Lancaster, announced the lockdown order, and it will be enforced. This was his statement. The Republican. For those of you that do not think you have to comply with the order, I'm paraphrasing a bit, but pretty much spot on, verbatim. If you do not comply with the lockdown order and you want your liberty or death, I will have the sheriffs arrest you and they will take you to jail. And in jail, you will get COVID and you will die. So if you want your liberty or death, we're going to give you your death. This was the Republican mayor of Lancaster. Now, I'm not telling somebody who lives in Clovis or Reading that you needed to saddle up and ride. But when I heard that, I said, well, I'm saddling up and I can ride to Lancaster. I mean, Lancaster just an hour and a half. I'll saddle up. I don't care what the price of gas is. I'm going, right? And we got out there in Lancaster, and there were hundreds of us telling him, come and take it. Hey, deputy, hook me up. Hook me up. Come on. Mr. Parris, I made sure he knew the guy the cowboy hat is. That's me.
Wow.
Hook me up, dude. Hook me up. Bring it on. Let's get it on, right? Let's get it on. We publicly humiliated him, and I was happy to lead that parade any way I could. This parrot knows exactly who this cowboy is. So when I told him, and I sent the letters and the emails to the city council and the city manager, that I'm going to come to their city council meeting and call them out to their illegal gun buyback, and we're going to sue them, he's going to hit this nail on the, he knew he had to hit this nail with a great big hammer, didn't he? He's going to teach this cowboy what for, right? Yeah. Did I expect he would react this way? Yeah, because he whom the gods wish to destroy, what do they do first? They get angry. And the fact that I refuse to submit to the tyrant is what makes him crazy angry. Because if Bruce will defy them, next thing you know, everybody's going to, right?
Right.
Which is why our protest in Lancaster got zero media coverage, right? Why would it? You want to talk about other lockdown protests? We do 2 shows on that, what we did in Ventura County, what I and other patriots did.
We're going to have to, because we didn't even get to talk about the gun buyback program, which again, that really irritates me. You didn't buy it to begin with, so how are you going to buy it back?
We'll come back. So let's close out this episode, because this wasn't even the topic we were supposed to do. So
yeah, I know.
Okay, so criminal arraignment. Not my first rodeo, right? Okay, DA, I'd like to see what your discovery is, Deputy DA. Oh, I can't give it to you. You're not an attorney. Well, I know, but I'm still the defendant. I'd still like to see what you got. Oh, well, I can't give it to you. You're not an attorney. Do you have an attorney? Well, I don't know. I might get one. I want to see what I'm charged with first. I'm not going to hire somebody if I don't even know if you're even putting out the charges. I don't even know what they are, right? Show me what you got, right? Show me. Oh, well, I can't do that. Okay, I know. Sure, I know. You can't show me. I'm not an attorney, and I'm not represented. Right. And you're not allowed to represent yourself in pro per unless. See, I know this. Okay, fine. So she's now going to read the charges. I said, Your Honor, I don't even know what the charges are. The district attorney, deputy DA, hasn't presented me with anything. I don't even know what I'm charged with. Well, she knows that I'm not, because I'm right there. Oh, well, we can have the charges read into the record. Oh, well, then go right ahead. Got it. Okay, so now we're going to read the charges in the record. Interfering with a city council meeting, resisting arrest. Well, how do you wish to plead? I said, well, are you going to represent yourself? And I said, well, I can't enter a plea unless I'm representing myself or I have an attorney. Well, do you want to represent yourself? I said, well, at this point, I kind of have to, because I haven't seen anything, and I don't know if I need to hire an attorney or not, because I don't know what the charges are. Oh, not a problem, deputy. Boom, here they are. Here, just sign this right here. I know what this form is. This is a waiver of your rights when you represent yourself. This is I have all of my rights, and I'm going to now waive them all. So when you screw me over, you're going to go, you waived them all. You waived them all. Why am I doing this? I think it's a Jarman decision, said that if someone represents themselves, you can't screw them over unless they have waived their right that says you can. So, and if you don't sign it, you can then bring an action that says you screwed me over. I don't know these things. I'm not an attorney. So what do the courts have you do? Sign the waiver. Is the presiding judge going to allow a case to go forward without a signed waiver? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Any lower judge that would like, no, he's going to bring a lawsuit because you didn't have him sign. You will have him sign the waiver. Okay. So she's like, hand the waiver. I took the waiver and I went, She said, well, you didn't read it. I said, well, of course I didn't read it. Why would I bother reading it? I just wrote no at the bottom. But you didn't read it. I said, there's no reason for me to read it. I'm not an attorney. How could I possibly understand the rights that I'm waiving if I'm not an attorney? I would have to be an attorney to be able to know enough to sign the right. I don't have an attorney to even advise me. So of course I have to say no. I don't understand that. But if you don't sign the waiver, you can't move forward to represent yourself. I said, yeah, that's a bit of a problem. It creates what do they call it? A catch-22, Your Honor.
A little conundrum.
It's a catch-22. I can't sign the waiver without an attorney, and I can't represent myself unless I sign the waiver. So And I do have to enter a plea today. She didn't answer that one, but I know what's that answer. Right to a speedy trial. If I don't waive it, they have to go forward, right? I'm there to be arraigned. You will arraign me. You will arraign me, and that means I have to represent myself. And if I don't sign the waiver, then you got a problem, don't you? Hey, I didn't ask to be arrested. I got other things to do today than, drive all the way to Lancaster and be here at 8:30 in the morning because, why not? Sure. It was a nice drive. It's a beautiful day in October right about Lancaster. I'm like, okay.
Good.
She's going to take a 15-minute recess. Okay. So I got in the hallway, called one of my attorneys, and he's just like, well, what are they going to do? And he's not a criminal attorney per se. I'm like, well, I think they got a problem because I can't waive even my right to a speedy trial without representation. I'm not going to waive my right to a speedy trial. So they can't tell me to come back another day. And and if they tell me to come back another day, then they're violating my rights. And if I do come back another day, I think they probably figured out at this point that telling me to come back in a month might break me. But then again, I might be back in a month going, I never waived my right for a speedy trial, and I'm still not going to sign this. So what are we going to do? It's catch-22, Your Honor. Right? If you fly, you're crazy. But if you're crazy, you can't fly. What do you do? Okay. For those of you that haven't seen the movie or read the book, it is that hysterical. Catch-22. Okay. So I come back in. They said, well, Mr. Boyer, we're going to get you a public defender. I said, well, Your Honor, I appreciate that, but I do understand that as I'm a person who is gainfully employed, that I would have to pay for the services of the public defender in order to represent me. And I'm not willing to pay for the services of a public defender. Catch-22 again, aren't we?
Well, yeah, because, right. So we got to wrap this up, though.
Here's the solution.
Okay.
Oh, that's okay, Mr. Boyer. I'm going to give you a free public defender.
I thought they all were, but okay.
No. If you are gainfully employed, you pay. And most of them are completely useless.
Yeah.
The one I got, Mary, is not completely useless. No.
Good. She
watched me. She knew this was complete BS. You're charging this guy with interfering with a city council meeting? Are you insane? Then we get all the discovery. So, under California law, a misdemeanor to be arrested must be witnessed. So, city council meeting was there on Wednesday. I'm arrested on Thursday. Did any of the 4 deputies who arrested me actually witness what I allegedly did on Wednesday? No. Reading their creative writing reports, could you tell? You got to read them very carefully. They don't say they did, but then they don't say they didn't. So logically, you would expect as a prosecutor that, of course, they witnessed it. Why would they arrest him if they didn't? They wrote a report. Clearly, they didn't. Or they can get a warrant. Did they have a warrant? No. So it's called a stale misdemeanor. You cannot arrest somebody on a misdemeanor that, one, you didn't witness. And even if you did witness it, you can't go to them 2 hours or the day next. Hey, I saw you do this yesterday or 2 hours ago. No. You have to arrest them as the crime has been committed, as speedily after that as you can. I mean, if the guy runs away and you catch him, takes 2 hours to catch him, there you go. But you can't just go, yeah, I'm arresting you tomorrow for what you did yesterday. No, you can't do that. That's a stale misdemeanor. Throw it out. No warrant. They know this.
Did they do that to your case?
Not yet.
Oh, really? Dang.
Not yet. And my property was not given back to me, and my 10X gray Stetson hat is still in the property of the sheriffs. They do not answer the phone. They do not return phone calls as to the return of your property. I had to walk out of that facility at 2 minutes after midnight and call my son and wait for my son to drive all the way to Lancaster to come and get me, to find out that my associate had not been able to drive my car back, to then go to Lancaster the next day to get my car, in which they were doing the gun buyback, and I got to see everything they were doing in the gun buyback. And that is an extra bonus. I went down to another one of my neighbor cities. I went down to Torrance last Saturday, and I'm dealing with them over their phony gun buyback. and I'm going to hand them their ass in the bucket.
Oh,
And
thank
realistically,
God. I'm so
if I'm
glad you're
going to
doing this.
sue,
That makes me really happy that you're doing this. Thank you so
if
much.
I'm going to sue one of them, I might as well sue
Get them
all.
all.
Three for the price of one.
See,
Yes.
this is when you use your powers of, if you have an evil mind, but you use your powers for good, that's Bruce.
I could be so evil. If I was evil, I would be Dr. Evil. And when the people on the other side accuse me, they say, "You're evil. You're a bad person." I go, "I'm a bad person? You have no idea how bad I am. Let me tell you how bad I am. I am so bad that Dr. Evil took classes from me.
There you go. All right.
I'm
How do
so
we get in
bad
touch with you?
that
Where do we
here's the
find you?
last joke. Last joke. I am so evil that Vladimir Putin has my picture on his wall.
See, I shouldn't have let you finish because the first one is about as funny as the first one. How do we get a hold of you? How do we find you?
Well, at this point in time, I am not officially a candidate again for California District 26 and 26. I came in third as the not endorsed, not supported by the Republican Party, Republican as a Republican. They had their endorsed candidate. He got all the backing from all the party people. I finished with 17,000 votes. That's a solid third, with the entire Republican Party going, "You're not our friend. We don't like you. We're going with the guy."
Then answer my question though, and you held up a sign that we couldn't see because the
Oh,
screen is small. Just tell us how do we get a hold of you? How do we find you?
BruceBoyerForCongress.com.
Okay, gotcha.
Yep.
And we can still reach you through that website then. Okay. If
Yeah.
anybody has any questions, so they want to get involved, or what the heck, they want to join you, and actually, it's fun corralling a herd of
Heard the
clowns.
cast. Heard the cast.
Herd of
So,
clowns.
topics for upcoming episodes. Let's do some teasers. What we
Okay.
were supposed to talk about today was the revolution that is happening and the civil war that we are going to be living under starting in, if not
I
January.
absolutely want to talk about that.
We need to talk about
What are
that.
they going to do? And all I have to do is ask this question: what do you think they're going to do to keep Trump from actually ever sitting in that Oval Office again? So I got to go now, though. I got to
You
go
gotta
now.
go. Bye. Sheriff
I'll-
Mack is on. He is amazing. Tell him I said hello. He knows who I am. I go back 23 years with him. We'll do an episode together at some point, and we'll do it. So you get on with Sheriff Mack. We have amazing stuff to talk about that we do not talk about. Many great episodes coming up. So thank you, my friend Charlie. Press on. We have a country to save.
All right. Amen and amen. And you can help us by doing your Christmas shopping online at mypillow.com. Mypillow.com. Mike Lindell, great patriot, using my middle name, Lee, L-E-E, as a promo code, getting up to 75% off. And they'll mail it where you want. You could have your Christmas gifts mailed out for you. Over 100 products, all American made, right now at his online store because the big box stores pulled all of his products. MyPillow.com/Lee, MyPillow.com/LEE. Fantastic sales going on right now. Extraordinary products. I know because I have several of them. I bought them myself because I'm a big fan. Before I ever even became a spokesman for MyPillow. MyPillow.com/LEE. May God bless you and keep you. May God bless America. Most importantly, though, America,